Hello everybody, welcome back to PhotoBeast. Today on the table I got a couple things I want to show you about getting out in the field without breaking your gear, without breaking the bank. So come and join me right here. So to give you a quick backstory, this is the RF 100 to 500. Prior to having this for probably like 3 years, I shot the EF 100 to 400. Now there are a couple adapters out in the world that float around that are the EF adapters. If you look at this one, this is from a company called Mikey. Mikey gives you an ND filter in there. It does come with the clear one, which is kind of nice, and it's great for video. Now these adapters, if you look, they only have 4 screws in the front and 4 screws in the back, versus the Canon ones. Canon, with their proprietary adapters, let me show you this. Canon gives you 7 screws and 7 screws. The cool thing about the Canon screws is I've disassembled these and taken them apart. The Canon screws are twice as long and twice as thick in diameter as the Mikey and the newer. The reason why I bought the Mikey and the newer is because this one has the ND filter and the other one has that little dial on it so you can set up like a third wheel when you don't have a third wheel. My wife shoots a Canon R8 and it doesn't have that third wheel option on the back, so we shoot manual auto ISO, back button autofocus, but we use that third wheel for exposure compensation. So I thought it'd be great to set that wheel up for her. Well, I bought it and I used smaller lenses with these adapters, like 35mm f1.4s, you know, things like that, little baby lenses, you know. But one day I decided, I said, let me put that newer one on my R5, put the 100 to 400 on it, and I was hiking up the trail and I got to this concrete path, and right then with my strap, the 100 to 400 smashed on the ground. It did some damage to my Canon R5. It actually broke the door off, and I've made a video about how to fix that. And the thing was, I had a photo shoot that night. Just terrible, terrible moment. But because of that, I try to figure out ways to strap my gear to me without breaking my cameras, my lenses, or breaking the bank. So if you're interested, I got a couple things on the table over here that I'd like to show you. Now, if you look at this, this is the Canon 500mm f4 lens. This is an older lens, and this is the original tripod collar slash foot. This is the foot. The collar is the one that goes all the way around it, but this is the tripod foot. It's nice. It's got a little grip on there and everything, and it's big so you can grip on it, and it's meaty, but it adds weight. The other problem with this is you can't just say, for instance, I got a strap and I want to rock a tripod. If I was to just throw it on there, everybody knows that you got to undo your strap, and then you've got to put a mount or a base plate on there, and then you can throw it on your tripod. But with these Leofotos, they just lock right into place. The other cool thing about Leofoto with this one in particular is it gives you a 3/8 threaded adapter, it gives you a 1/4 inch threaded adapter, and it gives you like a Magpul sling mount adapter, which is really, really neat. And I'll get to show you something in a minute that really works with that. This went with the Canon RF 100 to 500. Everybody's seen these that has the 100 to 500. That was replaced by this. This is from iShoot. This is the RF 150. This is what they call it. And this one here, even though it's black, I think it gives it a nice sleek look. But you've also got your mount on there as well, so you can just mount it and go. That is great. The other part about these little mounts is if you look at the bottom, you've got the same thread adapters and the same kind of setup, except for this only has a 1/4 inch and it has a 3/8. It doesn't have the Magpul sling, but I'm fine with that because I found the ultimate straps. Now, somebody that shoots all the time, I go through a lot of straps. I've bought some of the cheapest ones that you can buy to save money, just to hold on to, you know, a camera and a lens configuration here and there, and I've bought more expensive ones. But more recently, I have found a brand, and this video is not sponsored, I buy everything with my own money. This is called Danger Buddies. Danger Buddies actually sells these on Amazon. You can get the camouflage configuration, and us wildlife shooters, we love this stuff, but the camo configuration one usually sells between $13 and $15, but these things retail between $50 and $60 each. Now, the cool thing about Danger Buddies is, I'm gonna show you this. This is, freaking love it, man. These guys, when they made these straps, they really, really thought it through. So you've got your strap, right? You've got your little locking mechanism here that locks, see? So it doesn't come off. So your little 1/4 inch adapter that screws in can actually stay on the item, and then you can lock this thing, and look at the size of that. They weren't playing when they made these. I actually used this to walk around with my Canon R5 and my 500mm f4, but I don't trust just one strap. So what I've been doing is, and I'll show you how I set this one up, with the iShoot Leo Photo. So let me zoom you guys in just a little bit. Normally what I'll do is I'll screw this one in here, and that will kind of hold my Danger Buddies mount. So we got this one screwed in here, get it nice and locked, and Danger Buddies all on its own would technically hold that. Let me get this one out of the way here. So check this out. Once you get this on here and you get it locked, lock them in place. Now the other cool thing about this sling is when you get it in front of you, you can tighten it and you can loosen it, and it gives you more distance to work with this. Now, for running through the woods. Would I trust this one setup? I would love to, but I don't. This is where I like to double down. And for the last year, I took one of the Magpul slings off one of my rifles, and I don't really use a lot of Magpul stuff. I use Blue Forest gear, and they're about $100 a sling for some of my custom rifles. I got these long range precision rifles, but this is what you can say a 2-point or a single point sling. The problem with this is you have the extra point and you can't take it off. So if this thing was to hit any piece of glass or anything, it would do some damage. The other problem with this is once it's on you, it's harder to go up and down with. Now, one of the things about the Blue Force gear is they have pretty much a strap in the front for, you know, tightening and untightening. It's great when you're running around and you need to be hands-free. You can lock your rifle up against your chest, and when you want to actually shoot the rifle, you pull it, you bring your rifle up, and you got great target acquisition and so forth. And one of the things I like to do is also balance this. Now, I also play bass, and one of the things that I had problems with was with my Gibson bass. It was always top heavy and the balance was off. And if you look at this, the balance is kind of off. It wants to lean down because of right here. And this is the cool part about this, because with a single point sling, now I bought two of these. One is from Vagatu, and Vagatu packaged it. They're really nice. This was like $25, $30 for their little single point sling. It looks super nice. They give you a bunch of mounts in there. They give you an American flag. American-based companies are great. Look at this. You get all kinds of like little proprietary parts that they throw in, some QD mounts, all kinds of stuff. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. Now, with the other guys, they don't give you the little QD mount. So you might have to buy this extra. These are about $10 to $20. And then what you're gonna do is set this guy in your QD mount point right here. And this is why the Leo Photo is so great, because you can put two straps on, you can balance your lens out, and then when you're not using it, you can pop this off super quick, pop that off, and then put this up on your tripod and just rock the tripod. Because anybody that carries these 500mm lenses, especially the older ones like me, I don't have $15,000, $20,000 for the newer lenses. So what happens is I got to carry these old heavy guys around. So if you look, the single point now holds the front down, and then I got my other guy holding the back down. So we have double when it comes to security right there. And the last thing that I would do is kind of tighten that one up a little bit. But these are just fresh out of the box, but it gives you a peace of mind for when you're running and gunning and you just gotta be on the fly, throw up your lens, throw it back down. I know I got two straps. I know that nothing bad's gonna happen. If one strap fails, the other guy got me. And with that said, I think that this is probably one of the best configurations that I have found. Now, lastly, let me set this guy down here. I do want to say that Danger Buddies has not only made these great straps, but they fit on all these little feet. You know, like I said, you got your little 1/4-inch mount. You've got one of the best, listen to the birds out there. I'm actually gonna go chase an owl, and that's where we're at right now. There's an owl that's living at the edge of my property. It's just a barred owl. Nonetheless, I got a shot of him on the wall over here. As you guys can see, he's in that shiny, shiny frame right there. But that's a barred owl that's been living at the edge of the property for a few years now, and I'm about to go chase him to his nest and see what all I can get. But here would be your 500mm with the same setup. And this, like I said, when it's locked, you know it's not going anywhere. And the size of this mounting bracket is just on point. They really did a great job with this. This is just your eBay special for about $10. It holds, it does the job. It's just here to hold, you know, no more, no less. I can tighten it, I can loosen it. Let's move this here. Uh-oh, my goodness, man. There we go. There we go. There we go. Come on, man. Let's not do this. There we go. Why are you doing that? Okay, let's sit here and fuck with this for 35, 40 minutes. This is what everybody wants to watch. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Maybe I'll run out of footage by the end of the video here. So there's our single point, nice and tight. There we go. So this right here, I will put a link in the description if you're interested in buying one of these that's not too expensive. These sell for about $15. And lastly, let's open this Vutaku, the American-made company here, and let's see how much nicer theirs is. And I can tell this is already gonna be a lot nicer. And, oh yeah, that's super nice. It also has a pad for your shoulders here. And the reason why I bought this one is because if you look, I can put both points, ouch, on one of these. Man, these things do not want to go back. Wow, it already like moved. And our double, and then here's our main strap here. And then this guy's going to give me, like I said, two. This feels pretty damn comfortable. I got to say that. Let's cut this on, and yeah, let's go outside and get some shots, guys. And like I said, with this configuration, I know that, yeah, there we go. I know that I'm in good hands. Let's just get this round up right. And that should do it, my friends. That should really, really do it. Let me loosen this one so they're about nice and even. And there we go. We've got a 2-point sling with our Danger Buddy strap. And if anything's gonna get the job done, I think that this will do it. Well, guys, I'm gonna head on out. Thank you for joining me today. Everything in this video will be linked in the description. I think in the very end, this whole configuration setup will actually work out great for everybody. So if anything in this video helped you, make sure to hit like, share, and subscribe. I'm gonna go hunting an owl and get some really epic pictures. I love you guys. I'll see you all in the next one. Take care. God bless.